Hello everybody, Fixxxer here, and another month has gone by, November's come to a close, and I, for one, am thoroughly enjoying the cooler weather. We don't see too much cooler weather down here in Texas, but the other day I slept with my window open, and it reached 38 degrees outside, and it was glorious. I know that probably sounds awful to some of you, but I like the cooler weather, so I'm very excited to not be sweating my ass off everywhere I go over the next few months. Excited. Anyways, December is here. It's time to talk about the channel and all that jazz. November was a decent month for me. It broke my streak. I don't know. Ever since summer, every month I had was in the top 5 I've ever had. Until November, I don't think I hit the top 5. It was a down month for me, but I kind of expected it because I reduced my uploads a bit, or at least I tried to. I did, at least size-wise, as far as gigabytes, because I didn't hit my data cap until about 5 days left in the month. So I went past my data cap, and I was passing that a lot earlier in the month beforehand. So that has happened. But anyways, it was a down month, relatively speaking, but that's okay. Like I said, I was expecting it. And we got another month to start anyways. I don't think I started too many series this past month. Wait, let's talk about current series first. I'm still doing GeoGuessr. I have been considering canceling it altogether, ending the series and moving on. It still gets decent views. It's just that I've done 200 some odd episodes of it, and parts of me kind of want to move on and do something different. And other parts of me is like, it's GeoGuessr, and it's still kind of fun. So anyways, not canceling it just yet, but it is teetering that line there. It could go any moment, really. Kingdom is still going. It's the Halloween update, and that one kind of ended up biting me. And that I got with I don't want to say stuck with the Halloween mount, because the Halloween mount's pretty great. But when I went to move on from the Halloween mount, I couldn't, because it's a permanent type of thing. But anyways, it's still a fun series, and we're probably going to be ending it in December because I'm getting close to the final island. So you could probably see the conclusion of Kingdom sometime soon. Well, hopefully not too soon, because that would mean I would lose. But hopefully I can get to the final island and beat it. It's going to be difficult. If I were to guess, I would say I'm not going to succeed. It's not looking good, but you never know. Prison Architect, I'm still trying to pump those out as much as possible. It's getting to the point where Prison Architect's getting kind of too much for me, as in I've done so much of it over the past, I don't know, 6 months or so. And I've got like 250 prisoners in my prison, and I think the goal is to hit 500, which it won't take nearly as long to make that second one. It takes forever to get to the first 250. Not as much to the second 250, because you're bringing in money. So once we hit 500, I'm going to end that series. My initial plan was to start a series up right after it, but I think I'm not going to do that. I think I'm going to take a break from Prison Architect, so I'm not burned down on it completely. So I'll take a little break, and then I'll start another Prison Architect series. What else we got going? RimWorld. I didn't make any episodes for RimWorld Hobbit. You can pretty much consider that series dead. I was going to make a final episode to close it out, because I know a lot of people still watch that series. It's weird. It does so well still. But I got burned out on RimWorld. And I don't want to keep running that series, because RimWorld Alpha 16 is right around the corner. I assume it's going to be out in December. My guess is in the next week or two. And I don't want to play a game I'm burned down on and then just have a new update come in and have to play it more. You know, I want to be able to enjoy it. So the series wasn't going how I wanted it to, and so I just stopped making videos for it. And I would like to make a conclusion video, but I don't know if I'll be able to get time to do that. Anyways, long story short, you could pretty much consider that series dead. Lantern, I think I didn't put up, or I didn't publish at least the last episode. That's going up either today or tomorrow. I don't know. It's only a 4-episode series. It was okay. I mean, I like the aesthetic, I like low poly stuff. It was a pretty game, nice calming music and whatnot, but it was maybe a little too long for what it was. It's a walking simulator, well, flying simulator, whatever. But if you want something that perhaps is easy and calming and whatever, relaxing, maybe check out Lantern. I started a new series right before November ended, and that was City Skylines. I didn't exactly have a plan to do it because I didn't know when their DLC was being released, and then I heard, I think last week, that it was being released very soon, and I'm like, well, that sounds like the right time for me to start a series. So, Natural Disasters is the new DLC, which I felt was a pretty big deal for an LP series, because part of the problem with City Skylines is you'll hit times throughout the game where nothing happens, where the demand for your districts or zones, like residential, commercial, industrial, your demand diminishes, you run out of money, and the game just kind of sits there until suddenly there's a demand out of nowhere. And there's a few dead spots throughout the game like that, and I felt that would prevent it from being a pretty good LP. And I feel that natural disasters being introduced to the game could help fix that. You have the constant threat of something going wrong, and when something does go wrong, it keeps things interesting. So I felt it was a good time to start City Skylines. So I'm doing that, and I have the Snowfall DLC and the After Dark DLC. And I am playing in a snow biome, so if you like the snow, then maybe check out City Skylines. And that is actually it for current series. Let's move on to series that ended over the month of November. Not necessarily ended for the Indie Itch stuff. I did do 2 Indie Itch videos that you guys may or may not have seen. One was Islands, which was a game put out by Carl Burton, and I knew of Carl Burton because I liked his art. And then when he announced he was making a game, I was pretty excited for that, and he did that. And it's an interesting game. It is more abstract, and I don't want to call it a walking simulator because you don't walk anywhere, you just stand. It's a standing simulator, and you press a few buttons and things happen. And it's just an interesting look at some of the mundane places in our lives. And I love the art style. It's because I love Carl Burton's art style, and that's why I played it. So check that out if that sounds interesting to you. And I did an Indie Itch on a game called Herald, an interactive period drama, which takes place on some kind of ship that's traveling to another country, and you play the steward on the ship, and you have to juggle the dealings of the passengers and whatnot. The game's not out yet. It's just a demo, so it's like 20 minutes long. Game comes out Q1 2017, or at least the first half of the game does. The second half, I don't know if they have a release date yet for it. But if you're looking for something that's kind of like a point-and-click adventure with a heavy story, then check out Herald, because the art style is amazing. You guys would probably like it if you are interested in unique art styles. SOMA ended over the past month. I thoroughly enjoyed that game. It didn't do very well on my channel, but I kind of expected that because it's not too old, but it is an older game, and people generally aren't looking for games that have been around for a year, But I really was interested in the storyline of the game, and it did not disappoint. It was very interesting. It challenges your perception on what constitutes a person, the definition of personhood and personal identity. And if something like that, the philosophy behind that is something that interests you, then absolutely go check out SOMA. It was a pretty fun game. Void and Meddler Episode 2 just ended. I love the music and the art in that game. It is phenomenal. I wish more people knew about it, but I also wish the dev was able to put more time and resources behind the story and the globalization of the game. Because some of the dialogue is not very good, and the translation into English, because they're a French company, the translation to English is awful. I've seen worse. I don't want to hate on it too much. I've seen worse. But there were times where it was hard to read. Like, it hurt my brain. Not just the translation, but there were typos, misspellings. There was a few times where they had a word twice in succession and they forgot to delete it once. Things like that. And that really hurts the game. And I would have abandoned the game long ago if it weren't so goddamn pretty and the music wasn't so great. But anyways, Void of Meddler is done. Episode 2 is done. I believe there are 3 total episodes, and I don't know if there's an ETA on the 3rd one or not. If you like pixel art and you like synthwave, then Void of Meddler is an absolute must to check out if you can get by the English. And so far I have. And a game-breaking bug. There was a game-breaking bug in there too that pissed me off. But anyways, let's move on. So I did an episode on Firewatch because they added a free roam mode to the game. And I kind of did not realize that I was stepping into a huge ARG that I wasn't a part of. And Firewatch was not a part of either, but it suddenly was. It was part of the Eye Sigil ARG. And the Eye Sigil ARG is one of the more popular ARGs that have been going on the past couple of years. Probably the most cryptic and popular one. You could probably argue that the Sombra one was bigger because, well, it's Overwatch and lots of people love Overwatch. But this one's been going on for 2 years and no one really had a whole lot of information on it. So I did a video about the free roam mode, but most of it was about the Eye Sigil ARG and Firewatch's role in that. More info about the ARG, and if you are interested in that, then you could go and tap into the resources yourself and figure stuff out. And it did really well. A lot of people liked it, and a lot of people seem to like this ARG stuff. And I'm like, all right, I'm ready to record a second video to give everybody updates on the things that we solved in the ARG. And literally, as I was recording it, a major break happened in the ARG. And I was done recording, and I go back to the Discord, and people are talking about all these changes. I'm like, God damn it, that makes half my video inaccurate. So I scrapped the video. The next day, I recorded a second video. Same thing happened. I got done, I go over to Discord, another break in the ARG, making half my video inaccurate. Because I did speculation, and I talked about things like this, and we solved puzzles and things happened, and it's like, well, this is already obsolete. This video's obsolete. I don't want to upload it. And then I didn't make a third. I was kind of like, you know what, well, screw it. I'm not going to do one. And I don't know, I've been thinking about it, and I still want to do one. I guess I need to come to terms with the fact that if you're going to do videos on an ARG, you have to accept that the video can go obsolete at any moment, right? A break in the ARG can happen at any time. So if you keep on delaying, then at what point do you stop and say, I gotta put this video out? So I guess it's a judgment call type of thing on each individual video that you're going to make. I just need to come to terms with that. It's okay that you put a video up of 30 minutes and 5 minutes of it in there end up being completely obsolete and incorrect. That's just something I have to come to grips with and accept. And I found it interesting. I found the ARG interesting. It took a turn. In the end, it took a turn that I did not like, so I'm not involved in it anymore. So anyways, I talked too much about Firewatch and the Eye Sigil ARG. I'm going to move on, but check it out if something like that interests you. So Orwell ended. That was an interesting game. I enjoyed it. Not perfect, but good enough that I'm happy I LP'd it, and I'm happy with the results and whatnot. It's a lot of reading. I lost my voice so many times while recording that damn thing. But if you're into something that's kind of like Big Brother type game along the lines of something like Papers, Please, or the Westport Independent, or whatever, Big Brother type stuff, then maybe check out Orwell. I thought it was fairly well made. Not perfect, but pretty well made. I did a 2-episode series on a game called Sara is Missing. Now, this is a game I found on my phone. I have a Nexus 4 running Android on it, and I don't play a lot of games on it because the problem with mobile games, well, for one, most of them suck, and number two, they generally want a lot of access to your phone that a game doesn't need to have. And so generally what I do when I find a game that I want to play in the Google Play Store is I'll look online to see if it's available elsewhere, not on Android. And Sara is Missing was just that. I found it on itch. And in fact, it's going to come to Steam sometime soon as well. And I played the game, and it was interesting. I understand now that the game was a shortened version of the game, and they plan to release a full version sometime later, Q1 2017. I did not know that going into the game. And the game kind of ended a little too abruptly for me. So maybe that kind of explains things. Anyways, if you're looking for an interesting found footage horror game, because it takes place on a phone, the idea is that you found Sara's phone, and then you have to solve why she's missing using her phone, going through her messages and contacts and stuff like that. I don't do mobile games on my channel, but I thought this one was interesting enough to do. Oddly enough, within 3 hours of me putting it up, I lost 5 subs. And of course, Paranoid Me is like, did people just not want to see a mobile game, or was that just a complete coincidence? Anyway, check out Sara's Missing if you want to check out a horror game it's a 2-episode series. It's not very long. As for what's coming up in the month of December, well, I asked for a key for a game called Maize. That's M-A-I-Z-E. If I can get my hand on some footage, I'll put it up right here. Otherwise, go check it out for yourself. It looks like a pretty adorable game, and I asked for a key, and I didn't get one yet, and I know that other people have, so it's not looking promising that I'll get one. So I may not be able to cover it myself. We'll see, but I'm hoping I do, because the game looks pretty fun to me. I'm trying to schedule with a few people a game called Gremlins, Inc., which is like a tabletop game where you play gremlins that are clawing their way to the top of, well, I don't know, the gremlin society. And you can do that through business means and backstabbing means and this and that. And I think it's a 4-player game. I got myself a key from Maroka, and Maroka's got a couple keys, and we're looking for 2 people to fill out our roster on that game, and hopefully we can get that done in December and get that game out to you. And I think that about does it. I have other games on my radar, but I have nothing locked on for December. I don't have any keys that are waiting to get done, you know. There is Rising Storm 2 Vietnam, which entered a closed beta, and I did stream it, and I liked streaming it. I had fun. My worries. All right, there's a few reasons why I don't stream. The first reason is because I don't like Twitch. I don't like their business practices. I don't like a lot about Twitch, and I just don't like going to Twitch. So in the past, I've streamed to YouTube. Not that YouTube has fantastic business practices, but I didn't like a lot of the things that Twitch did. I thought they did some pretty shitty things in the past. So that's one of the reasons why I don't stream to Twitch. The second reason is, for someone to be successful on Twitch, they got to be consistent. They got to do it fairly often, right? You got to be able to say, hey, I stream Wednesdays at 8 p.m. and Thursdays at 8 p.m. and things like that. You got to tell people. I can't do that. Due to my illness, I can't make promises like that. Because, you know, I never know how I'm going to feel on any specific day or any specific time. If I tell everybody I'm going to be streaming at 8 p.m. on Wednesday, you know, Wednesday could come around and I could be having like a major flare-up, and I just can't do it. So I can't make promises like that. And that's another reason why I don't stream. And I think the other reason is I don't feel like I have a very good streaming commentary. But I don't know, that could just be me being self-critical, you know. Who knows? I don't know. But I do enjoy doing it, and I've considered maybe putting up a date and time saying that, you know, hey, I'll stream 8 p.m. every Wednesday as long as I'm up to it, and at least then maybe people will be understanding if I don't do it. I don't know. That's the problem. You got to be consistent in this day and age when you're uploading shit to YouTube and Twitch. You got to be consistent. People have to know what to expect. So I don't know. I streamed Rising Storm 2 Vietnam, which I thoroughly enjoyed playing. And the streams went really well. The people really enjoyed watching it. That was pretty great. And it's going to have another wave of beta soon, so I'll probably stream more of it. So keep an eye out. What I usually do is I'll tweet it, so you guys might want to go to my Twitter and follow me. Or I also put a video up on YouTube saying, hey, I'll be streaming as long as this video is up. So if you go to my YouTube channel and you see a streaming video saying, hey, Fixxxer streaming, then you can count that I'll be doing it at that time, because when I'm done streaming, I take the video down. So if you see the video, I'm there streaming, then stop by and say hi. I have a lot of footage of Rising Storm 2 Vietnam, and I'm struggling with how I want to put it up on my channel, if at all. First off, I haven't really put any FPS stuff on my channel in a long time, so I don't think anybody on my channel really likes it. I put up some Overwatch and no one really watched it. I just think that most of my viewers these days, they like either sim games or they like story games, because that's what I mostly do on my channel. FPS not so much, so I don't know. But I think what I'll end up doing is more along the lines of a cinematic video with Rising Storm 2 Vietnam. Something along the lines of maybe a 3 or 4 minute video with music on it, and just cinematic shots of the game, of guys running through a rice field and explosions and this and that. Something like that, more polished and edited than something like a gameplay footage or an LP or whatever. So I'm thinking that. Let me know if something like that interests you, or if FPS is just something nobody's interested in. Because I think that's what the case is. Nobody here is interested in FPS. But anyways, this video has gone on long enough, and I'm going to have to edit it down, I think. So that's it. I'm pretty excited for the month of December. I'm hoping it's going to be a good month. I hope I find some fun games to get you guys up there. I am in the market for a story-driven game. So if you guys have one that you want to suggest, don't be afraid to post it down below. And I guess that's it. We'll see you guys in the other series, and thanks for watching. Bye-bye.